All right, I'm going to run down some creepy, weird items and just a weekend review of cryptozoology, paranormal, and some conspiracy garbage that I like to talk about, and I hope you like to hear about it. Did you know, Clown Baby, that there is an International Cryptozoology Museum, and it was founded in 2003?
No, where is it at?
Well, I'm glad you asked. It is a nonprofit, and it is a 501c3 and a state of Maine nonprofit museum. So I believe it's in the state of Maine. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I have in my notes. I'm going to confirm this right now. Would you like to go?
Sure. You said Maine? Yeah, gonna have to plan that one out though.
Well, I mean, I'm verifying exactly. You know what I don't like about the Cryptozoology Museum is that their website doesn't have an instant. It doesn't have an instant address. You have to scroll down a little bit, but yeah, it is in Maine. It's in Portland, Maine. And this Cryptozoology Museum, it is the International Cryptozoology Museum, has many rare and unique pieces of remarkable evidence. Some of the items on the exhibit are actual hair samples from the abominable snowman, Bigfoot, Yahweh, and various other Sasquatch.
Of course, there.
A letter from the actor Jimmy Stewart is on display as he is linked to the Patagai or Patabashi Yeti Hand mystery. Huh, I did not know this. Jimmy Stewart had a run-in with a Yeti? Can you look that up, Clown Baby?
Sure.
Jimmy Stewart Yeti experience? Because apparently this is on display at the Cryptozoology Museum. And they also have at this museum fecal matter from a small Yeti, and that was collected by Tom Slick. I'm not sure who Tom Slick is, but I'm sure we'll find out a little later.
Sounds slick.
Yes.
Jesus, what a fucking porn name.
There's also other samples from Sasquatch from the In Search of television series. There are various exhibits from Monster Quest and Mysteries at the Museum. There is a footprint cast that was taken in 2001 during an alleged encounter of a Bigfoot. And there's many other items on display at the Cryptozoology Museum.com. You can take a look over there. It's in Portland, Maine. We should head on over there, Clown Baby, and take a look around.
It's more of I'm down to go, but it's more than just let's just head on over. It's a little far.
I mean, we should.
Okay, well, we got to plan this out, but yes, definitely, we can have a whole podcast trip. Anyone that wants to join us, will show up with 100 people.
Yeah. So when
100 minus 98.
When it comes to the Jimmy Stewart, he's an actor or was an actor, if anybody doesn't know. In the hand of the Yeti, I actually have the story here, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I found it. It's quite a story.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It is quite a story. I don't know if I can do a synopsis of this, but I will try. It turns out if a group of Nepalese monks are missing their Yeti hand, they'll accept a replacement from the same people who crafted the costume and weapons for the Lord of the Rings movie. Just don't expect them to forget how Jimmy Stewart smuggled part of the hand out under the nose of custom officials, or how the ensuing attention led to the theft of the monks' other Yeti relics. Wow, how fascinating. This is an incredibly long story, and there's actually a picture here of the Yeti hand. There is an original Yeti scalp and hand in this picture, and the scalp looks very bulbous. It looks very like overly dome-shaped and very large in comparison to what you'd see on a human. Joe, do you want to take a look at this? I'll put this in Care Shop.
Wait, I'm watching this the clip that Clown shared.
I'm trying to look through it. It's the Unsolved Mysteries part that covers the actual hand in Jimmy Stewart. But if you want to keep going, I can try and find.
Well, if you can find it, and if I can play it,
I'm looking at it.
It's 15. It's 14 minutes long. Though I got to find the spot where they cover the hand.
Say go to that 620.
620.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll actually go to the. I like the Unsolved Mysteries music. Here we go.
I love it. Too, yeah. 615.
I'll go to 615 right here.
615 or so.
Extend through southern Asia.
Here we go. 615. We're talking about the Yeti, the stolen hand, and all that stuff.
The footprint measured 10 inches long and 7 inches wide. It had some of the same characteristics of the footprint discovered by Eric Shipton 6 years earlier.
It was a short, squat, almost square type of footprint. And I sent it to the various physical anthropology experts around the country. And what they usually, the terminology came back was unique, but we don't know what it is.
The discovery of the footprints made headlines around the world. Slick and Byrne began preparing a second expedition, determined not only to see a Yeti, but to capture one. In February of 1958, Peter Byrne returned to the Himalayas to embark on an exhausting 4-month trek. Tom Slick financed the operation, but remained behind.
I kind of want to know who Tom Slick is. Sounds like this motherfucker's got some money.
An oil businessman adventurer. So he's an oil tycoon, and he liked to adventure around the world for these types of things.
Oh, okay, cool.
3 months into the expedition, Byrne hit the jackpot. He met a Buddhist monk who had a remarkable story to tell.
Good.
You've been looking for a Yeti.
He likes scotch, this old man. And one evening, while we were sitting there having a drink and talking, he said to me, he whispered, he said, you know, that up in the temple we have a hand.
Hand.
A what?
Yeti hand.
And he said, would you like to see it? And I said, yes.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So we went back up to the temple. We went into the top part of the temple, and he showed me this hand, about the size of a human hand, cut off at the wrist. I considered it very significant, and I took some pictures of it immediately, some flash pictures. I asked him,
why are you laughing, Joe?
Just because it's like, of course, this is what you would do.
Yeah, he takes some pictures. He's taking a selfie with it. Back in 1955.
Right, he's got the hand on his crotch,
yeah,
in the sleeping bag, and it's like woke up.
Hey,
like
look, it's grabbing my balls.
Jimmy Stewart's gonna get. Hey, put this down your pants. Yeah.
Of course, could I have it? And he said no. He said it must never leave the temple here. If it leaves the temple, various calamities will befall the temple and the community and so on. I asked him if I could have a part of it, and he said no.
The dude was asking, dude. He's like, "Can I keep it? And can I just have a finger?" And
yeah, can I lick it?
Can I just lick it? Can I just stick it up my ass just for a second?
I just want to see like Bigfoot fisted.
I'm just gonna put the tip in, just a tip.
Members of Tom Slick's scientific team. The alleged Yeti hand was unlike anything they had seen before. Opinion was divided. Was it human? Was it ape? Or was it an entirely new species?
Very compelling, and there's actually a section here in the article that talks about the smuggling of this. Byrne smuggled
he smuggled it in his butthole, by the way.
What's that?
I don't know if it'll cover it on the video or not.
Well, I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit, Jeff.
Okay.
Byrne smuggled the finger and some skin from the hand across the Nepalese border into India, where he made a rendezvous in Calcutta with American movie star Jimmy Stewart and his wife Gloria. The famous couple agreed to smuggle the finger into the United Kingdom for research by Slick's friend and primatologist Osmond Hill of the Zoological Society of London, which they did by hiding it within Gloria Stewart's undergarments in her luggage. So they actually stuck this finger in her underwear, in her luggage to smuggle it into the United Kingdom. How about this bullshit?
Can we prosecute them? That sounds like smuggling biological material.
Well, I'm sure it would be very difficult to get through customs. Like, are you carrying any fruit, vegetables, or Yeti appendages?
Yes. They don't ask that question.
Any soil
yet.
samples? No, just a Yeti finger. What was that? Oh, no.
Nothing. Never mind.
Butterfinger.
Butterfingers.
Butterfinger. The TSA would be all over this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're just going to throw it away.
This is I love these stories, these paranormal stories involving movie stars. It gives an element of like realism. It brings it to a whole new level. It's not like there's also a story, and maybe I'll have to get into this at a later date, but there's a story about Jackie Gleason and Richard Nixon driving into a military base, and Nixon showing Jackie Gleason alien bodies. And I'll break up with that story for next week's podcast, or maybe even this weekend show about Jackie Gleason and Richard Nixon looking at alien bodies together. I love it when famous people, celebrities, are captivated by this weird shit. It as weird as it sounds, it kind of brings it back down to earth. I mean, much like Tom DeLonge, who's obsessed with UFOs and disclosure. I'm glad Jimmy Stewart is obsessed with Bigfoot. It's just bizarre to me, but it's awesome.
Yeah. And Tom DeLonge, he's following in the footsteps of the greats before him.
So you might be wondering, okay, they smuggled this finger into England to have it looked at. Well, back in London, Hill examined the finger and declared it to be of human origin, although a number of scientists in Slick's circle weren't convinced. And Hill himself later expressed doubts. Skin taken by Byrne also didn't prove definitive, and testing of the skin decades later by U.S. television show Unexplained Mysteries also found no clear answer as to the skin's origin. The hand at the monastery vanished in 1991 after the story of the Yeti relic aired. Meanwhile, Peter Byrne began a hunt for another mythological creature, the Sasquatch. But the Abominable Snowman, a.k.a. the Yeti, versus the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, we all can kind of agree they're probably from the same lineage in some way. And if you test, I mean, isn't the human DNA and the orangutan DNA pretty much 99% the same?
I think you're thinking of the chimpanzee.
Or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. A monkey guy. One of those monkey guys. The chimps and the humans are 99% identical in DNA. So if they did testing and they said it came back as human, how different are we from the Yeti, the Sasquatch? Maybe not that different. But I'll post up this link that you guys can all read when it comes to the Yeti, Jimmy Stewart, and the missing hand of the Yeti from the monastery in Nepal.
I think we should dig up Jimmy Stewart's body to find out if it's in his corpse's butt.
Yeah, okay.
It might be. Who knows?
You get buried with it, sure.
Yeah.
People get buried with Stranger Things in that show.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
he might have left a note.
Maybe he's like an Egyptian pharaoh, get buried with everything, gold, diamonds, and Yeti feet.
You got to pull the brain out, and they pulled the brains out and shit for whatever reason. I don't even know.
No, I mean they did that just to be cleanly, Yeah. You don't want your brains leaking out into the coffin and make it look all unsightly for people.
We should do a segment on that. Why did they take the brains out of the people? They had a special tool for this and everything. It's like, if you're just going to mummify the damn thing, why does the brain have to come out? What are you going to do with it? Did they eat it? Like, if they ate it, maybe that would make sense.
I don't know. We'll have to look into that, Joe. Maybe next time.
Totally derailed. Derailed.
Big
Jimmy
dumb
Stewart's
mouth.
butthole hand with the Bigfoot hand in it.
What is all this stuff?
I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.